I suppose I'll be clear from the start in saying that when it comes to VAT and cross-border selling, there are only risks for those who are what we call non-compliant. In other words, they are not complying with the VAT rules and regulations of a particular country, when in fact they should be. On the other side, sellers who take their tax affairs seriously and are making the right declarations at the right time in the right countries, well, they have absolutely nothing to worry about. It is a big topic. When sellers are selling their products to consumers in other countries, they need to make sure that they're complying with the VAT rules of that particular country. With the economic downturn of recent years, governments all over the world have been looking at ways to address tax deficits. So the topic of VAT non-compliance has reached the top of many governments' agendas. What this means is that tax authorities are pretty tough on collecting VAT from foreign online sellers. And most authorities are in fact getting stricter and more intelligent about VAT non-compliance. And many have measures in place to try and stop it. The authorities are really scrutinising online cross-border sales, and dedicated units have been set up within the tax authorities all over Europe, just focusing on bringing non-compliant sellers to account. And it's worth knowing too that the tax authorities, they're quite PR savvy. And you will often see articles in the newspapers and online describing how successful they have been in tracking down online sellers who are not complying with their VAT rules. And they also have pretty sophisticated new auditing techniques in place. And these include things like risk scoring, which is working well and helping them collect more VAT. Well, there are some pretty big risks for sellers if they are audited for VAT and found that they are not compliant, which means that they haven't been reporting, collecting or remitting the correct amount of VAT at the right time in the right country. So if a seller is found to be behind on their tax payments, then they're forced to repay all of the tax owed plus interest and fines of up to 200% of the total VAT liabilities. And the VAT can be backdated up to 10 years, along with interest on the unpaid VAT, penalties, and interest on the unpaid penalties. So, as you can imagine, it all adds up pretty quickly. But we're not just talking about financial penalties. The reality is that the authorities, they have the power to seize products not only at the first port of call, first port of arrival into the European Union, but also after they have been imported and while they are in transit. Not declaring VAT to the correct authorities can be interpreted as tax avoidance. And of course, this is a hot topic right now. So my message to sellers who have any doubts about any aspects of their VAT situation would be to speak with an expert and clarify what they need to do.